Hello, my friends. It's Big Mark here. A little more from the secrets behind the red door. I want to continue that story back then because I want you to know how this expanded bigger. So, a couple of weeks later, after that whole episode with finding the bug and the paperwork, the raid, a few weeks later, it was a Tuesday night. And around the corner from the Bergen Hunt Fish Club was our friend's social club. John's brother Richie ran it. And sometimes when the club closed early that evening, we go hang out there, have coffee, watch TV, whatever, play cards, whatever we hung out there. So I had to be about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Usually at that time, 5 to 6 o'clock, Gene, Joey Scopo, little Jackie, whoever else was with them, they would go to dinner. So as they leave, I'm outside, I go for a walk. It was summertime, it was nice out. I walk outside, take a walk to the corner. Now across the street, there was an old abandoned Long Island Railroad trestle. It was abandoned for 30 years already back then, 25 years. So basically, the people rented out spots underneath. They had car shops, whatever, mechanic shops. So as I walked to the corner of 99th Street on First Avenue, just to stand there, I was waiting for somebody to come get me. I looked up, and there's a station, like a station with a tower on it, and there's a platform, I guess, where workers worked. All of a sudden, I look, and somehow it caught my eye. There's a little black box facing the Bergen Hunt Fish Club at an angle down the block, and it looks, and I'm looking, and in the plastic screen, I see looks like a camera lens. So, whoa, what is that, a camera? I see a wire coming out of the back of it. So I grabbed one of the kids, used to be like a shoe shine guy there, so I said, hey, Chris, you climb up there, get that box down. Here's a knife, cut the wire, bring it down. He comes down, gets it, goes up there, comes down, hands it down to me. I look at it, it's a gray box. I open it up, it's a video camera in there. So supposedly the cops or feds were taping the exterior of the club. I said, holy shit, so, and I take the box, I wait for Gene and Joey and them to come back. I show him, Jeannie, what I found. He says, holy shit, where'd you find it? Up there. I says, how'd you find it? I was standing out there, I was waiting for the guy, a friend of mine to pick me up, and I spotted it, and the kid Chris went up there, the little kid, and he went up there. He says, okay, he says, wait, hold on to it, he says. And tomorrow, we'll give it to my brother. So. Next day is Wednesday. Now, in the Bergen Hunt Fish Club, Wednesday was dinner with John Day. 40, 50 guys would show up. It was summertime, so more guys would show up. There'd be chairs outside, people hanging outside, and they get a full meal. So I go, John gets there finally, everybody sit down, they're ready, right before they eat. John says to me, where's that box? He says, okay, he says, so I want you to go out and see where that cable is and follow it. So me and little Jackie walk. So we go to the corner of 9th Street and by the trestle, and we follow the black wire really slowly with a flashlight. And it's going down one whole block to 97th Avenue, makes a turn, goes across to 97th Avenue, all the way to 95th Street, 4 blocks, makes a left and a right, and I see the wire go across. It looks like it didn't belong. This is before cable TV, so it looked like a cable wire before there was cable. And it went right into this large apartment building along the side wall of the alleyway. So me and Jackie find out, so let's take a walk in the alleyway. So Jackie, I used to date a girl here. I know some people in the building. So I go see a woman next door. I said, hey, Mark, how you doing? I said, you see any telephone guys working here lately? She goes, oh, for the last couple of days, there was guys with trucks. I don't know if they were electricians or telephone guys. They were on the pole. She goes, I didn't think nothing of it. I thought it was just repairs. Thank you. So I walk down the back of this dark alleyway. Jackie's behind me. And I look and I hear talking. And I turn the corner. And there's an open window with the light on. And I peek around the corner of the building, the window. And there's a whole bunch of men in there with tape recorders, with everything. I spot them, I go, shit, I run. I said, and I heard somebody say, did you hear that? They must have heard us. And we bolt out of the driveway. So we finally get back to the club, and I said, John, I tell him what's the matter. We traced the wire to an apartment building all the way to 95th Street. He says, it's like 7 blocks long. We walked in the back, we saw in the back window was open. There was guys in there with tape recorders, reel-to-reels, sound guys. He says, really? No problem. Who's he grab? Joe Messina, follow him anywhere back then, and let's take a walk there. Where is it? I said, I know where it is. He said, I've seen it. So I go there. So Joe Messina walks. Now remember, there's like 40 guys outside the club. We're all standing outside, finding what's going on. They walk, nice and nonchalant. So all of a sudden, we hear sirens, maybe 25 minutes later, we hear police cars coming down 101st Street towards that apartment building. And Johnny Cakes was the best. He says, "Oh, it's got to be John and Joe. They must have did something wrong. They had to cause the cops to come." Everybody was laughing. As the cops go down to the apartment building, you see John and Joe walking back up from the side street. And he says, so John says, "Let's laugh." He says, "We caught them." He says, "What do you mean?" "They were just setting up." He says, "I walked in the building. Somebody buzzed me in. We saw guys walking out of the apartment with tape recorders, supposedly cutting down the camera. They knew they got spotted, so they were packing up. So as the guy comes out of the door, me and Joe were standing in the hallway. The guy drops the machine and runs back in the door. He says, "John Gotti is right by the door." "No kidding." And John says, and he said, "I told him, aha, we found you. You ain't getting away with it." He turned around laughing. They walked out. They must have called the cops. You know, the guys were all, the cops were afraid or whatever, the agents, whatever it was. And John had a kick out of this. He says, "We shocked the shit out of him." So that's the end of that story, how deep that surveillance of John. He was a captain then, but that neighborhood was really tight. And so that was a good part of it. But John had fun doing this. So that's the end of that story about that filming that they tried to start and never got away with. So that's just, and then from there, more happenings went on in the Burger and Fish Club that you have to find out about. Come see my show. I promise you, you'll be fascinated. This is not about disrespect to anybody. This is about showing you a life that, and a time that everybody should know about in that club. You have a great day. Talk to you soon.